Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Bullets, Burns, Brews. My name is Wilson, and today we are going to be stabilizing and racking into secondary our two meads. We're going to be doing our Arnold Palmer and our Pineapple Jalapeno. Now, we are stabilizing these ones because we are intending on back sweetening them here in a couple days. The reason we didn't back sweeten our blueberry pomegranate was because we had an active ferment still going. We want to make sure that fermentation is complete before you stabilize, because it helps prevent fermentation from kicking back up when you do add more fermentable sugar. I did test these ones a few days ago. As of a few days ago, they were completely dry. We're going to do another gravity reading today just to be safe, but I don't see them really changing. So we also have a couple additives to at least our Arnold Palmer mead. Our Arnold Palmer mead, we are going to be adding back some black tea. So I made a super potent, super concentrated tea, just regular black tea. We're going to add that in there to kind of help lift that the sweet tea flavor of it. That way, when we do add the honey back into it, it will be more like a sweet tea. So let's go ahead and get right into it. We're going to start with our Arnold Palmer. And once again, everything here has been sanitized. I have a little table right over here that has stuff on it, so we might want to just get rid of that stuff. Like we previously stated, when we did rack our blueberry pomegranate, you want to make sure that whatever you are racking it into is lower than what you are racking from. So we're going to go ahead and put that there. We are going to run our tubing. And once again, we're going to put our tubing as far down into that as we can get it. And then we're just going to stick that about halfway in. And with this one being pretty clear, it makes it so we can actually see what we're doing. So we're just going to go pump, give it a couple pumps, and there we go. Now, once again, the further down your vessel that you are transferring to is, the faster it is going to siphon down in there. Now, we are going to have a little bit less than a gallon, which is why another reason why I'm going to be adding more tea. It's going to help bring that volume back up. And the stabilizers that we are using are sodium metabisulfite and potassium sorbate. One is going to help our yeast go dormant, and the other one is going to make it so that they can't, at least from what I've read online, it's going to make it so that they can no longer reproduce. So the whatever the yeast colony that is in there, that's what it's going to stay at. So still going. Now I am tilting this up on the side. I'm not being too aggressive with this. I'm tilting this up on the side just a little bit to make it a little bit easier to rack. You want to be very gentle and very careful so that you don't disturb too much of the leaves on bottom. Now also with the auto siphon, I do have the cap on the bottom, so if I have to, I can push into the leaves just a little bit, and that is going to allow us to get even more of this mead out of here. So, well, we're getting there. So a little bit more. And we're going to call it good right there, because we started getting a little bit of leaves in there. A little bit of leaves is fine. It is going to fall out, but it's still going to fall out of suspension in this mead. But the less leaves we have in there, the better it is going to be. So we're going to go call that good. Now, because I am running out of fermentation vessels, this is going to be a little skippy. We are going to be jumping back and forth, because the vessels that I'm transferring from, I'm going to have to go in and clean those out so that we can use them again and transfer them into. So I'm going to go ahead and take our funnel right here, and then we're just going to add our super strong, super concentrated black tea back into this. And that's going to put us just below a gallon. I'm using the numbers on, or the letters and the numbers on the carboy to kind of determine. From what I've read, right below that is where our gallon is, and we're just shy of it. Like I did say, I am going to want to take a final gravity reading real quick. So let's go ahead and flip to our recipe page for the Arnold Palmer. So the last time I checked this was on December 13th. What was that, 2 or 3 days ago? And we were at 1.000. So theoretically, it should have burned through all of the sugar in there. We're going to go ahead and stabilize it now. That way, once we do introduce sugar here in a couple days, it's not going to re-ferment. So handy dandy hydrometer and graduated cylinder. And we are going to get in there. And we're going to see where we are sitting. And this did clear up very, very nicely. Like, just looking through the side of the graduated cylinder, I can still read the numbers on the side of the hydrometer through the graduated cylinder and through the mead that is in there. All right, there we go. Put that back down. We're going to go ahead and give this a twirl. And we are at 1.000. So we haven't had any additional fermentation. It is dry, so there's no sugar in here. Go ahead and pour this sample back in. And last, we are going to add our sodium metabisulfite, which come in the form of Camden tablets, and the potassium sorbate. So we're just going to go ahead and dump that right in there. Looks like some of our stuff got hung up on the bottom of this little Tupperware dish. So because we want to make sure that we have all of this stuff in there, go ahead and add that back in there. And then dump it back down in. Oh, come on. You do not want to come out of there. Come on, you can do it. One more again. There we go. Get out. All right, now we're good. So we're going to go ahead and stick our airlock back on there just in case. And this one is done. This is ready to sit for 48 hours, stabilize, and then here in 2 days, we're going to come back and we're going to add some more honey to sweeten it up, and then we will be taste testing it as well. So we're going to do a little cut/transition right here, because I now have to go clean that vessel out so I can transfer this 2-gallon bucket into these 2 1-gallon buckets, and these are the last 2 1-gallon carboys that I have. So we're going to do a quick little cut, and I'll be right back.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
And I'm back. So we got the Arnold Palmer finished. Now we are going to be getting ready to do our pineapple jalapeno. I got both of my vessels that I'm going to be transferring to down here. Once again, they've both been cleaned and sanitized. Now I have a blue bowl right here and a slotted spoon. I'm actually going to remove the pineapple and jalapenos off the top. So that will free up a little bit more of the space that might, or of the mead that might be trapped in between the individual pieces of fruit and the peppers. And it will also allow me to see deeper down into it to make sure that I'm not sucking up too much lees. So let's go ahead and just get right into this one as well. Now, I checked this one back on the, let's see, where am I at? There I am, on the 13th as well. And this one was actually at a 0.998. So this went below 1.000. So that is going to change our ABV just a little bit. Also, this lid is absolutely disgusting on the inside, and I don't want that just on the table. So we'll go ahead and put that off. Now, in my little cup thing over here, I got another Camden tablet and more potassium sorbate, so that's going to be ready to go as well. So let some of that mead drain off. And just throw it in there. And this pineapple is absolutely destroyed. Smells amazing, though. Now, if you do recall, we do have 2 pounds of pineapple in here and 4 jalapenos. So hopefully that's going to provide us with the sweetness and the spice that we're looking for. What I also plan on doing is when we do go to back sweeten it on Wednesday, is I'm also going to be adding more pineapple into it. And if the spice level isn't where I want it, we will add more jalapenos as well. So that's just kind of where I am sitting with this. There's still also like a bunch of fruit pulp and fruit chunks that are just kind of sitting in this still. So chances are we are going to definitely have to rack this probably a few times just to make sure that we're getting everything out of suspension and getting it as clear as possible. On top of that, I have also ordered some clarifying agents. There are some people that swear by the agents. There are other people that prefer to just let it do its thing naturally. I want to experiment with both. Once again, I am a beginner. I'm not an expert at this. So I want to see, we're not going to do that yet. I want to see what all avenues we can take with this. So let's go ahead and start our transfer. Once again, the carboys are below where we are siphoning from. They are sanitized, and we're just going to go ahead and get right into this. And there we go. Now, I'll also do we're also going to do a gravity reading as soon as we get this transferred over and I get this bucket cleaned out, because we are going to put both gallons back into this. I don't want to take up the 2 vessels if I don't have to. So we're just going to go ahead and let it do its thing, or continue to do its thing in the bucket. And like I did say, there is still fruit chunks and stuff in here. Occasionally I will see a piece just zip down the tubing. That's perfectly all right. We're gonna let this sit for quite a while, and hopefully we're gonna get the result that we are looking for. We're definitely gonna add more pineapple into secondary. Another reason why I wanted to go back to the bucket. I just don't want to run the risk of having to run a blow-off tube again, because I might have potentially miscalculated something, and then all of a sudden fermentation restarts. So it's going to allow us to add more fruit and stuff. Like I said, I do want to add more pineapple, and potentially, depending on where our flavor profile is at, I am also going to want to add potentially more pineapple. It actually looks like our yield is going to be less than a gallon. because we are over halfway down, and the carboy is 2/3 full, and I'm almost in the lees. So I'm going to go ahead and just lift this for a minute, let that go, and then I'm going to go ahead and just transfer this over into the other vessel. This way I can tip the bucket to get more of the meat out and not have to worry about potentially overfilling the carboy. So there we go, and we are going to tip. Like I said, we're just going to be really gentle with it. We don't want to disturb the lees and just have that get all up in the mead. If lees does get up in there, it's going to fall out again eventually. But why create more work when we don't have to? I also did add pectic enzyme to this, so hopefully the pectic enzyme is going to allow this to clear a little bit easier, get rid of that pectin haze, and create an even better product. Oh. Almost there. And we're going to call it right there. There's a lot of gunk in the bottom of this. So, all right, y'all. What I'm going to do is we're going to have another quick intermission. And we are going to come back. I'm going to clean this bucket out. We're going to transfer everything back in. And then we are going to stabilize it. Also, I just realized that my math is wrong. Each Camden tablet is for 1 gallon of mead, and we've got about 1.5 gallons. So we're going to add a little bit more stabilizers into this to help really keep it where we want. So, like I said, we're going to cut right here, and I'll be back shortly.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Once again, I'm back. So we got everything transferred over, got my bucket cleaned, and we're going to go ahead and retransfer this into here. Now, while I was cleaning and sanitizing the bucket, I realized that I have made a fatal error. Now, I don't mean fatal in the same way, like I've ruined the mead or run the risk of potentially hurting myself or someone else. No, I made a capsicum in a plastic bucket. What that means is that plastic bucket is pretty much now permanently impregnated with capsaicin. So I can really only do capsicum in that bucket because every mead that I go to make in that bucket from here on out is going to have hotness into it. So we're here to succeed together. We're here to fail together, but we're going to learn the entire time. And we have learned that if you're going to make a capsicum, do it in a glass carboy. Don't do it in a plastic bucket because you can only use that plastic bucket for capsicum from that point on. So it looks like we're going to have about 1.5 gallons of mead, 1.5 gallons of the pineapple jalapeno mead, which perfectly fine. I knew that there was going to be some loss between the lees and the fruit cap. So we're going to go ahead and finish transferring this over. Now, once again, we're not just going to dump it in there. We do want to use our auto siphon if we were to, even though it would be a lot easier. If we did just dump it in there, then we are running the risk of oxygenating it. And we don't want to do that because it's this point that the mead is delicate and we don't want to impart any off flavors or run the risk of it having issues in the future. Come on. Although it looks like it's going to be difficult and make me dump the last little bit of that in there. So, go ahead and dump that in there. And we are going to learn if what I did is going to ruin this mead. I'm just trying to get everything out of it. And we've got this mead flowing too. I'm just going to go ahead and start this thing on its side and just get her going. Once we're done transferring this over, we're going to take a gravity reading on this. It should be done fermenting, but I've been proven wrong on this channel so many damn times that I'm just going to say I'm not going to rescue. We're going to go ahead and do all that fun stuff. Oh. This I have also taste tested every one of these meads. So far, the blueberry pomegranate is my favorite. I do also enjoy this one, but I think both the blueberry pomegranate and this are going to be better when they are sweeter. Now, with the Arnold Palmer mead, that one I can't wait to dilute that with a gallon of sweet tea, or a gallon of lemonade, excuse me, to truly see what it's going to be like. As it sits right now, with just the tea in it, I can't say that I'm too big of a fan, but hopefully that lemonade is really going to really help out with what we have. And our bucket. Now, once again, we're going to go ahead and take our gravity reading. It smells like pineapples and jalapenos. Who'da thunk? And we're just going to go ahead and grab our sample. There is still stuff in suspension. So we're definitely going to have to give this plenty of time to go ahead and clear out. But I'm not really in a hurry. So we can wait. Go ahead and get a little more in there so I can grab the hydrometer and spin it around, and we're going to call that good. Give it a couple spins. And where are we at? Where are big numbers? There's our big number. And we are still at 0.998. So that is exactly where we're wanting to sit. We're going to go ahead and add our stabilizers. And we still got stuff stuck to the bottom. We want to make sure all of that gets back in there. Nice thing about a bucket too is I can get this down here below, really get aggressive with that swirling, and if it spills out, oh well, it's spilling in the bucket. I ain't too worried about it. All right, there we go. Then we're going to take our lid, seal her back up, airlock, back on, and we're done. Now, just in case you're wondering, the pineapple jalapeno, with it sitting at a 0.998 gravity, having dropped from a 1.083, that actually leaves it at 11.475 ABV. So we're going to go ahead and say 11.5% ABV. The Arnold Palmer started at, let's see, looks like 1.106. It is at a 1.000, so it is dry. And that one is sitting at a 14.3% ABV. Let's see. Yep, 11.5 and 14.3 respectively. So that's our video for today. We racked both the Arnold Palmer and the pineapple jalapeno into secondary. We have stabilized both of them, and now we're going to let them sit for 48 hours. Let the stabilize it in there, do their thing, and then on Wednesday, I'm going to have a guest here with me, and we are going to back sweeten and taste test them and see just how we like them. Now, once we back sweeten and taste test, they're just going to sit in secondary for a hot minute and age until we are ready to bottle them. We want to go ahead and let them clear more, possibly rack them off. At least with the Arnold Palmer, we'll probably rack that one at least one more time. This one, the pineapple jalapeno, I see us having to rack this one a couple times more just because of how much stuff we still have floating in suspension. But we're going to let them sit in secondary for a minute. We're going to let them clear. And the next time we see them after we back sweeten them will be when we are bottling them. Once again, I do want to thank every single one of you for joining me today. I cannot tell you guys enough how much I appreciate the support that I have been getting. I know that I'm a small channel. I know that I'm under 100 subscribers, but it does mean a lot to me that you guys are tuning in and that you guys are interacting with me through comments, through any of that other stuff, comments, likes, dislikes, whatever you guys want to talk. Now, the lees, I also did want to cover this. I am not throwing my lees and my fruit caps away. I have a friend who is a subscriber of mine. Her name is Christine. She is actually doing her own kind of experiments with them, doing sourdough breads and fermented jams and all of that really cool stuff. So I'm looking forward to see what she's going to do with this pineapple jalapeno. She's already done a bread and a jam with the leaves from the the blueberry pomegranate. I apologize. So pretty much if there's any worthwhile leaves, we're going to go ahead and give that to her and see what she can come up with. If you guys would like to have her on the channel to kind of explain what she does, go ahead and let me know, and we'll see if we can get her on over here. Once again, I do appreciate you guys for joining in. This is Bullet Sponge Brews. My name is Wilson, and this is our racked into secondary Arnold Palmer and our pineapple jalapeno mead. Thank you guys for joining me. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you next time.